So let's take a moment to laugh because we all need a little laughter in our hearts. And, we talk about such serious conversations and we have these informative, knowledgeable conversations, but, where's the humor in it, right? And it's for myself, I'm a fellow dad joker. So we're going to just start off with a little joke here, okay? So don't steal this one. So why did the orange juice factory worker lose his job?
Because he kept getting pressed?
Because he couldn't concentrate. Screaming. Hi, everyone. I'm Tay with Flirt, and today we have Miss Kaamil in the building. Would you give us a little synopsis about who you are, my lovely lady?
Absolutely. Hey, y'all. My name's Kaamil, and I am one of the co-founders of Bliss Sundays, and we are a social community and events platform here in Houston, specifically for lesbians and queer women 25 plus.
Yes, we love it. We love it. So today, Kaamil, we're going to talk a little about how to flirt.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
So with you, what's your sign?
I'm a triple Scorpio. So Scorpio, moon, sun, and rising.
That is crazy. I think that is very rare. The stars were truly aligned when you were created.
Yes, I feel that. People usually think it's intense. And they're like, oh my God, like what?
I have not ever met anyone that has all three signs that are all the same. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's interesting.
It has to be. So with Bliss Sundays, how often do you host these events and what all exactly do you guys facilitate? I know that you all have parties, right? But you also have a lot of other elements to Bliss Sundays besides just those events, those Sunday events, the Bliss Sunday events. Could you give us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So basically what we are is we are a community. So we're an events platform. So we host all different type of events. So there's like 3 pillars for us. So one is social. So that's the monthly day parties that a lot of folks know us for. And then the second is wellness. So we do wellness events monthly as well. And then the last one is professional. So we do networking events as well as co-working events. And so really we're creating like a third space community for folks to be able to come together and kind of build community regardless of what type of event it is. So yeah, it's a whole community network. And really we focus on like queer women 25 plus because we're of that, 30 plus, the grown and sexy girlies, and we have different interests. And so for us, it's a lot of passion around just creating different type of experiences for our lifestyle and for our community. So
I love that. I love that. I've been to quite a few events myself.
Yes.
I'm a fellow supporter of Bliss Sundays as well as your wellness and your professional events, and they're also amazing. So in this realm of being this 25 plus all queer women area, right? What does it look like when you see, I know you see a lot of interactions, right? You see a lot of people interacting in different spaces. You might see a lot of the same people and you see a lot of the different people interacting.
Yeah.
What do you see in flirting? Like, do you see a lot of flirting? Do you see a lot of situations? Do you have a lot of connections that are built that are more so in that dating realm in your spaces? Do you see that happening?
Yeah. So I think at the age that we're at, like 25 plus, like folks are looking for their forever, and to get there, sometimes that means you gotta mingle, you gotta get outside, you gotta leave your couch, right? And so in our spaces, we do try to create a safe environment. We don't focus specifically on dating, so we don't, host like singles mixers or things like that. But what we do try to do is create a safe environment for folks to feel comfortable to connect, whether that's through flirting, through just shared interests with folks because it's different type of events, right? And so I do see a lot of flirting.
Yeah.
I do see a lot of folks connecting, and it's beautiful. I think that in order for a lot of people to get to that forever that they're looking for, they do need to be open to just engaging, right? Like connecting with people, having real conversations, kind of pulling back that like layer, of the small talk. We have this event called Cocktails and Chemistry. And that event specifically, we posted at a bar, and it's a bar that has like an open kind of setting. So it's like a a circle. And basically we curate different questions and based on different topics. So one of the topics is dating and relationships. Another one is like travel and adventure. And another one might be pop culture. And so we have different questions on there. And it's really just to create a safe space for people to talk about these different things. And like, if that means that you know, meet somebody or you connect with somebody based on, you know, the topics that are there, that's beautiful. And a lot of times people actually like look at the questions, they might ask one or two, but then they feel comfortable to just like go on their own vibe and kind of create whatever connections in that space. And so we're very big on just creating that safe, comfortable environment for folks to vibe, connect, you know, laugh a little, kiki, and continue the connection and see where it goes.
Exactly. That's amazing. That is amazing. I think that that's what a lot of spaces miss is those elements, those little paying attention to details, like giving those people the material. I think a lot of times with social media, we kind of stick to texting. You know, and that face-to-face interaction is what a lot of people lack. Yeah. And being able to have those social skills and understand the social cues of different situations and scenarios and conversations and understand what you're talking about and be able to comprehend and fully communicate with somebody and to actually connect with individuals. So I think that you creating that space where people can actually come in and connect on those terms and not the pressure of being, this isn't a dating space, but you could meet your forever in here. You can meet your bestie in here. You can meet who, you know what I'm saying, a business partner in here. Like whatever it is, it's still, you know, the space for you to do that. But when it comes down to, we're going to focus on a little bit more towards flirting today. Like we know that's not what your space represents, right? We're going to touch bases on it because, of course, you get to see a lot of people interacting, right? And there's a lot of different flirting styles that you could have. So for you, as this triple Scorpio, we're going to go into a little personal details, right? I'm going to ask you, what is your flirting style?
Okay, so I know I shared a few. I wanted to just add in, I am a cornball, okay? Shout out to the cornballs and the jokesters because
Speaking to my heart.
That's how I flirt. Like, for example, if my wife was like, oh, like, I gotta go to the car, I gotta go grab something, you know, around back or something, I'd be like, oh, because baby got back. I do these things all the time, and she thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. Yes. So as long as I can get you to crack that smile, baby,
I can get you to crack the other one.
Yeah. So I have heard that even just my presentation is flirty. And then I think for me, my personal style is I'm definitely an eye contact person. I want to, you know, the triple Scorpio me want to see that soul. What does that soul do? And I definitely feel like, too, like, as somebody who, you know, is like, I'm married and I've been in a long-term relationship for, you know, 7.5 years. I feel like for me, like, even like who I was back in the day and how I flirted has shifted over time. Because now that we're married, like, I got to flirt a little different than the way that I used to flirt.
This isn't the easy little, quick surface level. It's like, no, I got to get into
Exactly. I gotta grab that hand. You know? I got to give that eye contact. I got to, like, you know, give you the eye, wink at you a couple times, or even just set a mood, set an ambiance to like actually like allow flirting to happen. And so I think that's me. Like I'm very cutesy and like intentional with flirting. I think for me, like even compliments are big. So I'm very big, especially with women, like, right? Like just being like, oh girl, I love the way you put that fit together. Or like, oh my God, like your makeup looks so good. I do think it can get tricky between just like, because women, we can just like compliment each other. So just being able to like make it clear if you're really like interested in someone. And so I have friends who have said things like, you know, don't just compliment her on like what she looks like, but instead compliment her on like, oh, like I really love the way that you, you know, I really love the way you talked about that thing that you're passionate about. Or I love the way that I saw you like that glimmer in your eye when a topic came up, right? So that's very specific than being like, well, I love that shirt, right?
Seriously. I think that that's, for me, that is something that I really, truly pay attention to more. Like if somebody comes up to me and compliments me on my outfit, of course I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Or you're so pretty. Thank you so much. But when you compliment me on my energy or something that you noticed in detail, that's what really makes you stand out.
Yes.
Telling somebody they're pretty, people hear that all the time. So what are you really saying to someone to really catch their attention, to make a lasting impression on somebody, right?
Yep.
So when it comes down to making that lasting impression, you talked about eye contact, right? Eye contact is something that you're very good at. And from personal experience, we took our photos last night. The video, I had to send them and share them. But my birthday was last night. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. Come on, Sagittarius. December 8th is my birthday. And we had a great time. We had amazing parties and pictures, and a couple of the photos, Kaamil's eye contact was crazy. I was like, damn, I had to steal my soul. Lord, take it with me, please. I don't mind. But that makes all the difference. Like, somebody approaching you and not really making that eye contact can really be like, are you even here? Yeah. Like, how do you really let somebody know that you're interested in flirting, that you're flirting and you're not just complimenting? Because, as a girl's girl, I'm quick to throw out a compliment to a man or a woman. Hey, you're handsome, you're this, you're that. Doesn't mean I necessarily want your phone number or want to talk to you or take things further. But, being able to give those more in depth, paying attention to somebody, that really shows that you're truly interested in somebody. So I think that really makes all the difference. So in the space that we have for Clitorit, so with Clitorit, we cultivate sexual intelligence, right? Yeah. So this is what we do. We help people understand the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual, what they have going on as a whole, because that ties into your full sexual intelligence. So I do these events called High Frequency, and at High Frequency, we have these spaces. It's this safe space for Black and brown individuals to come in and learn about kink and BDSM, right? Yeah. So in those spaces, it can get a little tricky seeing people, and trying to interact, because you don't know. A lot of times people are coming in there with not a lot of knowledge or with a lot of knowledge. So it kind of just depends. There's a lot of people that have been in kink and BDSM for 10 plus 20 years. And there's people that don't know anything about it and don't even understand that little things that you're doing in life are kinks. You don't even realize that the smallest things can be a kink, right? So when they get into these spaces, I think that sometimes people can get a bit overwhelmed. Yeah. And they really don't know kind of how to go about interacting with individuals. So for me, getting people to understand what it looks like when somebody's actually flirting with you and taking those hints, right? Because consent, you could see somebody in my spaces, you could see somebody's dressed in little to nothing, right? And the whole thing of we want to represent ourselves and who we want to be. We're in this space, in this safe space, to be as sexy as you want to be. That does not mean that whoever's in this space can come and approach you. Doesn't mean that you can approach me any type of way, right? So just trying to understand and get people to see what the do's and don'ts are in those spaces of flirting, what that looks like. I know that for me, I'm a subtle toucher. Right? So I'm definitely like a very like hand on the knee, hand, arm, elbow, what have you. But in our spaces of what we do, consent is the main thing that we talk about. So getting people to understand, like, it's a little line to cross, do you mind if I touch you? That's even a subtle way to flirt, because consent is sexy. Very sexy. So you asking me if you can touch me, even if it's just a small touch on my knee, it's like, oh, well, yeah. I don't mind that. And then that opens up the floor to be like, oh, well, here goes this conversation now that we can easily have. So I think that a lot of times we just have to really be mindful and understand body language. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, is understanding people's body language, understanding that what a closed off body language looks like. If somebody is not even facing you and they kind of just turn their head towards you, that's kind of like a subtle thing of showing you that I'm not really interested in you that way. Understanding that eye contact across the room. How many times do you feel like for you, if you see somebody, say you saw Bliss across the room initially, we're going back to 7.5 years ago. We're going back to Oakland. We're going back to Oakland when you guys are meeting each other. How did you connect with that flirting? Like, how did you know? Like, what was your... Wait, first of all, did you come on? Were you the one that initiated? Because it's giving you did.
I did not.
You did not?
No. Yeah, what? I was minding my business, y'all. Like, Yeah, so I would say yes, +1 to all of that. Consent is very sexy. And I think even just to add on to that, I think even asking someone if they're comfortable with you touching them, like, hey, like, how did that feel? Was that comfortable? You okay? Are you okay with that? Like, that's a sexy, yes, like the check-in. Like, I think flirting too, just like flirting is so big. It's like a big umbrella. And one part of flirting is communication. And like asking those questions, like just being able to check in with someone and making sure that they on the same page that you on.
Right.
Because things can get murky, you know, especially in spaces like your spaces, right? And even our spaces. I feel like, yeah, it can just kind of be gray area. So for me, when I think back to like little young hot tenderoni Kaamil, I was, so me and Bliss met at a housewarming party.
Okay.
Queer housewarming party. We had a mutual friend. And I was in a kitchen. It was a very tiny kitchen. I got there first. She came into the room and just greeted everyone. It was like, hey, my name's Bliss, da, 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 blah, blah. Gave hugs. Like, just really, you know, this was on the West Coast. This was in Oakland, where I'm from. So very Southern energy coming to, you know, the West Coast. And I just remember, like, I actually didn't initially think it was flirting at all. Like, it just felt very friendly. Like, 'cause she was like, oh, hey, you know, I'm from Houston, da, da, da. And so we were just chatting. And then, yeah. And then as the conversation continued, she directly asked me, like, this is funny now. We laugh about it all the time. But she was like, so how do you identify sexually?
Damn.
And I was like, sexually? How do I, like, it just felt like a interesting kind of like question.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm fluid. You know, at that time I was like, yeah, I identify as fluid. Like, and she says now that she wrote me off after hearing that. Right. And so she was like, oh God, another fluid girl, you know.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You indecisive.
Right. So I feel like it took us to have that conversation to realize, like, oh, flirting was activated. Like, that was her being direct and asking me, like, how do I identify? And then from there, as the night went on, like, we started to have more conversations and, yeah, body language, a little touch here and there. We ended up going to a bar and lounge situation and went dancing that night after the housewarming party. And I feel like that's when I really saw the flirting coming out, because she was buying me and my friends drinks and, like, you know, so acts of care, a little acts of service, you know. Take care of me and my friends, okay? Because it's more than us. Literally take care of all of us. Yes. So she bought us drinks. So I was like, okay. And then yeah, and then I just remember, like, the way she opened doors, the way that she, like, just showed, like, concern and care. To me, it started to, like, trigger, like, okay, she might be flirting and, you know, I'm flirting back. Like, what's up? What's going on with you? And so, yeah, I think for us, it was definitely a lot of body language, a lot of just, like, asking direct questions, definitely a lot of eye contact. And then eventually, yeah, we had some one-on-one time when one of my friends, like my friend who I was with, left that night. And so that's when a lot more got activated when my friend left. And yeah, we just ended up being able to, you know, really even let the flirting and the energy just kind of like be more free flowing. And yeah, it was beautiful. I see you. Thank you.
So we're going to talk about the best and worst flirting line somebody has used on you. So that's an amazing story. I love to hear it.
Thank you.
I love a great love story because, of course, like you said, you guys didn't initially start off trying to be something, right? It was more so you guys flirted, you connected, situation, then it kind of developed into relations, and now relations turned into marriage, which is amazing. But in that time beforehand, while you were in this dating realm, you know, or even now, like, you know, there's people that try to cross the line. You know, there's people that flirt and you're like, no, boundaries, right? But what is the best or worst flirting line that somebody has used on you?
Oh, best or worst? Okay, I'll tell you about this date I went on.
Okay.
I went on a date years ago, and I think this was the most awkward thing that I ever experienced. So there was this guy. So I've dated men and women, and there was this guy that I went on a date with, and we were out at dinner, and I think that the goal was for him to try to connect with me, and so he asked me to look around the restaurant and think about each of these different people in the restaurant, what their stories were. And so he was like, yeah, like, what do you think about that couple over there? Like, I think they probably do this, or this is their situation, or this is that situation. And I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world. I was like, why are we talking about these other people? Yeah. But like, I genuinely think he was trying to flirt and like trying to connect with me.
Make that connection and talk about people. There's people that like to do those story buildings there.
Yeah.
There's people that like to do those story buildings there and say that. But so for you, what is your preferred flirting? Are you a voice note person? Are you a texter? Are you a emojis type of gal? Like, what is your style of flirting?
Yeah, so I'm definitely a big emoji person. I love an emoji. I also love a voice note. I think that's even more intimate in terms of flirting, just being able to put words and like
hear the tone.
The tone.
Yes. The misconception that's given on a text is like crazy.
You can't hear tone on text at all. So it's hard to like, I feel like with text, it's hard to even know if somebody's flirting with you, or are they just being like nice, or are they like, feeling angry, rude? I don't know. Like, you just don't know.
You don't really know how to read the situation at
times. You don't.
Yeah.
But a voice note can help clear it up.
A voice note, for sure. For sure. Send me a voice note. But I definitely know with the profession that I'm in, flirting is very interesting.
Yeah.
I get a lot of different types of styles of flirting.
That?
It depends. It depends on what the scenario is given to me. There's a lot of times where people think that just sending a nude is flirting. Which is crazy. Just hop in your DMs and just send a nude. That is not flirting.
No.
It's not flirting.
Please don't.
That is not consent. That is nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but for me, my style of flirting, how do I navigate that? I mean, it's my dating life and with what I have going on has been a little bit more difficult. Okay. I think that I am big on the flirting and I'm big on the conversations prior to, because I am not really moved by the physical attraction. Like, I can be physically attracted to you. It's not going to move anything in me if I can't connect to you. If you don't have good conversation. If you can't flirt, because I love to flirt. I love banter. I'm a banter girl. So I like playful banter. I like to talk a little, like, so you do that, Yeah. And I'm big on emojis. Stickers is my new thing. I love to send a stickers.
Oh.
Send me, I have 1 million stickers.
Okay.
I don't know if you see them. I got to send you a few.
What's on the sticker? Tell me
anything. You can make anything a sticker.
Okay.
You can make any expression, like any person, a picture, a sticker.
Okay.
So it's not even limited to emojis anymore. Like, you can really
it's upgraded emojis.
Yeah, like Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, he's like that.
And so they're like little memes.
Literally little memes. Like literally little memes. So that's like big for me. But for me, I love to, I'm a FaceTimer.
Yeah.
So I like to talk. Like, I'd prefer to talk to you on the phone, voice notes, over texting, because I'm typically moving around. So it's easy for me to talk to you on the phone rather than texting, because my texting gets a little wonky. I'm not going to respond. And then I miss the cues. If you don't understand the tones, I'm a little blonde. So I miss the cues a lot.
Yeah.
Like I meant to say that flirting. I'm like, oh, damn, I did not catch that at all. So, but to wrap things up, I just want to say that, with flirting, it is 80% energy and 20% words. I think that a lot of people think that it's just what you say. It is what you say, but it's also what you're representing and how you represent yourself and your aura. Because you not being confident is going to ruin the whole thing. Like, flirting is confidence. That's what it entails. And if you think you're flirting, then you might not be. So I just want you to say, that whole staring at you thing, I'm not a big stare. Like, don't stare at me across the room.
Yeah.
That's the most weird. Like, if I look at least 3 times and you're still just like.
Right. It's like, is there something on my face?
Like, I ask people that all the time. Like, if I catch you staring, I'm like, is something on my face?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm just like, oh, okay.
It just makes you start kind of like touching your face too. Like, what is going on?
Is there some on my teeth? I didn't eat.
No, literally.
There's a black pepper in my teeth. Like, shit. Damn, let me get that off me.
That is so funny.
But literally. But flirting is just playful confidence and not delusion. And I think that just the quick do's and don'ts of flirting is like, make sure you have eye contact, right? Yes. Complimenting things that feels natural.
Yeah.
Don't walk up to anybody and trauma dump. there's no reason that I should talk to you for 2 seconds and I should know your life story. Like, I do care, but I might not care about you yet to know these things. So don't trauma dump on me because I might even have the capacity for that.
Yeah.
And then also don't over pursue. Like, if that body language is not giving to you, then don't over pursue that person. You know, there's plenty of people out here that are going to be interested in you. You don't have to pursue this one person just because you're interested in them. There's other people that could have those attributes or character things that you might see in them in somebody else. Like, we're in a town that there's so many people that you could meet. You know,
attractive
you don't ever
because the baddies are in Houston.
They're here.
Okay.
They're here. They're here.
All around.
Everywhere. But I just want to thank you so much for coming out and talking to us about how to flirt. You're Kaamil. You want to give them your Instagram really quick before we hop out?
Yes, please. Follow me at Quest for Liberation and at Bliss Sundays.
You can follow us at NoireHFQ. So it's NoireHFQ.